Hey guys, Atari 8-bit Game Hunter here, doing another pickup video. I know I took a couple of weeks off. I had to take care of some business around the house and work on a couple other things like getting my permit. The first part of it was completed. I did get the permit itself. Now I just need to go take the written and the road test. So the written test will be tomorrow. We'll see how I do on the first part of it. But I managed to back off from buying for a little bit just until I can get the permit part taken care of. A couple of shout outs this week. One purchase I got from Mike and Dennis, so I want to shout you guys out. My boy Anthony from the Game Zone, I want to shout you out. You hooked me up with a couple of cool things this week. And the rest of the stuff was just garage sales, and not even garage sales at this point, just the flea market down in the Meadowlands this week. That was basically where I got most of my finds. Then one of the local thrift shops by my volunteer squad. But that's about it, so we're just going to dive right into this. We'll get through the thrift shop items first, and then we'll work our way into the consoles, because as much as I like to say I got good games this week, or some interesting games this week, for the most part they're common, and for the most part the best things I ended up getting this week ended up being on consoles. And if you looked around my room, I have a lot of consoles, so for me to find anything is an achievement all to itself. But such is life. Another shout out didn't sell me anything, but just hooked me up with information. My buddy Barry. I met up with him at the flea market, more like bounced into him. I went with AJ. I found him on the side of the road with a blown out tire, so helped me and my girlfriend helped him out. Got him to the flea market, and no goodies left unrewarded according to my girlfriend, and this week was a good example of karma coming back to help you out. So something to go and keep in mind when you see one of your game people in need of help. Just don't just say, well, this is going to make my competition a little bit light. Go the extra mile, help them out if you can. With that said, let's get into the pickups. From the local Goodwill, they had a 50% off sale, so picked up a couple of cheap games even cheaper than normal, and included Simpsons Road Rage. It's the greatest hits version of it, and I wish it was actually the regular version of it, the black label, but for a couple of bucks I'm not going to complain. Also, I ended up getting Hit and Run, which is always nice to pick up. SingStar Rocks. This was like 50 cents, so whatever. For GameCube, we picked up Burnout Complete, Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit 2. From AJ, we managed to pick up a copy of Paper Mario. We did a swap. I gave him a disc-only copy of Double Dash. He gave me a disc-only copy of this game, and he did one of those cover art project printouts of the box art, so I'm a little bit ahead of the game, but I know AJ's going to make a copy of his and print out a copy for his collection, so we're pretty much going to be equal there. I picked up, at the flea market, a copy of Pikmin 1 for the GameCube, and it's complete in the box. Discs in great shape. This was from Mike and Dennis. For my resale lady, who I deal with every week, something good always comes up by her. Whether it's an Atari 2600, whether it's a Commodore 64, which I got a couple of weeks ago. This week is a copy of Conquer Live and Reloaded for Xbox. It's complete. The discs in great shape. She didn't charge me nowhere near what this is going for on Price Charter, so big ups to her. I don't know if she'll ever see this video, but big ups to you for helping me out. And once again, it's one of those, if you don't piss off the vendors at the flea markets and garage sales, they will take care of you. Believe me, they will take care of you. A couple other random deals. Two of them go back to Mike and Dennis, because I'm doing this in no particular order today. For Sega Dreamcast, it's the Sega Smash Pack Volume 1. Sonic and A couple other interesting Sega classics from the Genesis and such. Another greatest hits for the PlayStation 1 is Namco Museum Volume 3. Case is a little cracked, but once again very, very cheap. Now back to what I was talking about with the resale lady. I was tipped off by another gamer. She had a TurboGrafx 16 and a couple of games. Went back, looked at the TurboGrafx. The box was a little beat up, and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to spend another $50 or $60 on a TurboGrafx. I already have one in the back. I'm like, what am I going to do with another one? So I talked to it and I bought a copy of Keith's Courage, which I did not have in my collection at the time. And the side label is actually in nice shape. And that cost me, actually I paid full market value for that. I think I paid $7 or $8 for it. It's full market value. For my buddy Anthony, I picked it up a couple hours ago. A copy of Pinball for the Nintendo Entertainment. It's a 5-screw, and I don't know how well you can see it. It does have the Famicom converter in this one, so I just labeled it as such so I knew. So this is one of the few that actually do have the Famicom converter to play Famicom games on your regular Nintendo. Let me see what else we got that's laying around here. From the resale lady, I got also with that Conker's Live and Reloaded a sensor bar for the Super Nintendo Super Scope 6. Very nice shape, cleaned up very nicely. Cost me only a couple of bucks. I see plenty more Super Scopes than I do see receivers, so it's one of those, you see it, pick it up ahead of time before you come across the gun and sit around waiting for the receiver to pop up. Now we're going to start moving into the console area of what I found this weekend. One item is right now going off to the repair shop, and I'll get into that one in a little bit. I picked up a copy, a system of Halo, the Halo Edition Xbox. And if you look at this thing looks mint. It looks like it hardly was ever played. It did not have the cables, but I have cables already. I do have the Halo controller to go with it, so it's a matching set, which is always a plus in my book. And it didn't kill me in price, so I was happy with that. Mike and Dennis, as I'm bouncing things off my keyboard, Mike and Dennis hooked me up with an Xbox 360 controller. Very clean. Battery compartment is clean of corrosive battery acid. It's not dirty. It doesn't need to be cleaned. The joysticks on this one is perfect, like brand new. Everything works on it, and it did not break my bank account to buy one. I bought a while ago a $4.50 Xbox 360. I needed a controller for it. I hit one. A couple of minutes later, after I bought this one, I found another one, even cheaper. I picked that one up, and that one I traded in because I, at this moment, really don't need two of them. And that was one that I knew I could turn quickly and make a profit on. So I did just that. I traded it in, got my profit, and I'm good to go. Something else will come along I want to buy, I'll have the money for it. It's all good. Moving on to what I picked up that's in the shop right now. Now, the disclaimer, my friends online will know this already about me. There are a couple of things I will just not buy electronically, video game-wise, at the flea market. Namely, PS3s, PS4s, Xbox Ones, Xbox 360s. Between the fatality rate on those systems, I don't want to be bothered with them. I don't want to buy them third hand from people who I don't know, don't trust. But I did this time with somebody I do trust for as a vendor. Told me if I had any problems, he'll take care of me. He's done that in the past. Not a problem. I picked up a PlayStation 3, backwards compatible with PS2 games. Got it for a good price. It works. It's a little glitchy. Needs to be cleaned out. Not comfortable enough ripping a PS3 apart yet to put it back together and clean it all out. I'll let someone else who's more professional take care of it. I'll pay up a little bit for the fee to have it done, And when I get it back, I'll have a PS3 backwards compatible, ready to go. I am so excited about that. I get to add that into the collection with everything else. And it really leaves me in a position now where I don't need that many more systems. A Neo Geo would be nice to own. A Neo Geo Pocket would be nice to put in the handheld department. A Jaguar, a Lynx would be nice. I'm not ready to kill myself and buy a PS4 or Xbox One or Wii U. Even though Wii U is probably going to be the next modern system I'll pick up down the road when prices come down. Outside of that, there's really not much more console-wise. A Channel F would be nice to have in my collection. And outside of that, I'm just working on little Pong systems here and there as I come across them. Reading little handhelds as I come across them. And that will lead me into the next area of what I picked up this weekend. I also picked up a couple of Pong units. These are complete in the box. Boxes are beat up a little bit, but I'm okay with that. This one is the Odyssey 2000. The red game console. Has a couple variations like all Pong units have. The box is a little beat up. It's been weathered. I picked that one up, and I couldn't go without picking up his brother, the Odyssey 4000. Once again, the box is a little rather beat up and all, but it's all there. It's complete. It's been tested. Both of them, they both work, and for the price that they want, I'm not going to complain. I see Sears Pong units. I see Atari Pong units from time to time. I've seen a couple of the cheaper Hanamex models out there. As you've seen in my other videos, I have a 777 model Hanamex Pong unit. I have a couple other off-brand name ones. But picking up an Odyssey, not one but two of them, for a reasonable price, I'm more than happy to do so. And that will lead me to one of my last points I want to make for today in this flea market recap I have. I did end up emailing that reseller about the terrible graphics in the box, and she's going to hold it for me. So I'm going to get another one to trade away while I'm keeping the box. And yeah, should be exciting to pick that up and be able to even this is a temporary placeholder for the box until I can get a nicer box. It's nice to get a box terrible graphics in my collection. And outside of that, I picked up online this week, actually I picked it up yesterday, a copy of Defender for the Atari 400-800. Now I know I have 2 or 3 copies of them at home. I have the brown label, I have the silver label. Why do I need another one? This one has a little tape label on the cartridge. As this one has a brown label, this one just has the little white label right across the center with no brown label. And it looks like a developmental copy of the game, whether it's a prototype or a beta tested final edition copy, or a final edition that a programmer burned for another programmer to take home and try out and play around with, or bring it home to his kids or her kids. I'm kind of leaning towards the idea of a final version of the game, only because the label says 1983 on it, while the one on the brown label says 1982. So I have a feeling it's all complete, and the final version is revision A, serial number 12. I'll do a recap of that when I get that in towards the end of the week. I'll try to do some type of video on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday I'll try to get another video out about that. If there's anything else I pick up, pending we don't get the giant snowstorm I'm hearing about Friday into Saturday, which will just totally kill my whole week. But that's a whole other issue. The room here, I'll just pan around real quick, let you guys take a peek. It's not bad. I should be able to do another video in the near future, another week or so, if I remember, which ends up mostly being my problem at this point. I'm not remembering to make these videos. but I want to make them and get them out to you guys. So that was the guy from my volunteer Emerald Squad. So I'll have to give him a call back when this video is done. But that's about it for this week. It was a nice solid week. Nice to get back into the game. Helping out one of the gamers. And would like to just remind everybody out there, be safe on the holiday season. We're hitting fall, wet leaves. Some areas are getting cold. Roads freezing up. The EMT in me is to warn everybody about that. Outside of that, we'll be good. I'll meet up with you guys next week with another pickup video. And if I recall, I can remember to do this, I'll get the game room tours done. I've been saying that for months now. I just gotta get off my rear and do it. So we'll work on that this week. Alright guys, be safe, rock on, game on, and I'll see you guys next week.